Hello everyone, this is ACHAIA Akaya, and alongside me this game casting is 13 himself. This is a 2v2 that he played with Dig on, what is this, Twilight Princess. So 13, you recommended this game to me that you played with Dig, and why is that?
Yeah, this was a very entertaining game that I played actually last night with in the 2v2 Platinum League. We had a good time. It was probably the most back and forth game that I've ever played on Twilight Princess, which is kind of surprising because this map blows, and normally it's, like Akaya has said, one blob battle, coming after another.
Yeah, most people tend to basically wall off this front shared entrance, which apparently it looks like that may be what Dig's trying to do right here. You can see for it being basically the front entrance for both players, it's not that wide, so it's pretty easy to defend and just tech to late game. And like 13 said, you get basically a couple of big blob battles, and then that's all she wrote. So those are definitely not my favorite types of games to play, but you do see them a lot on this map. Anyways, looking at the races on the map here, the two people you were playing against are Jebezzal and HastaLasagna, and it looks like HastaLasagna is going to be spawning as the blue Protoss, and of course his Zerg ally is the red, spawning just to the left of his base. And it looks like 13 and Dig have both spawned as Protoss down in their base, and apparently the Jebezzal has stolen a gas from each of you. So is that something that hurts you guys going down in the game here, or are you guys not really planning on a whole lot of gas early on?
Yeah, that was definitely very irritating to me. And actually, if you look up at the at Asta's base, the blue Protoss, I'm doing the same to him right now just to pay him back a little bit. He stole my gas, I'll steal yours.
So do you take both of his? You do.
I do. I do.
So both gases are stolen from Jebezzal, or I'm sorry, HastaLasagna right now. He is the blue Protoss. Although it looks like he is going for a proxy gateway in the middle. And at this point, I don't believe either of you have scouted it. He did just put it down, but this may catch you guys off surprise here, by surprise here a little bit, although it looks like Dig does appear to be continuing with his wall-in strategy. Not a hard wall-in by any means yet, and only one pylon currently powering all of these buildings. So if that pylon gets focus fired down, Dig could be in a lot of trouble. But anyways, going back up to the main bases here, it looks like 13 still has those. Oh, and I'm sorry, 13 putting down some cannons here. So you're going to do a cannon rush on HastaLasagna.
Right. Since he stole both of my gas, I pretty much had two strategies: cannon rush or zealot rush, and I decided to go with the cannon rush here.
Cannon rush definitely not something that I've seen a whole lot on this map, although I have seen it done, but can be very effective because the amount of space in these bases, because they have the naturals included in the regular bases, is just so large. It's really easy to hide buildings, and like you're doing right here, just basically leapfrog cannons up into their base, which at this point, he has his gateways out in the middle of the map, so he has absolutely no units to defend against that, although there are Zerglings moving along with this one Zealot coming out to attack you, but it appears that Dig does have one photon cannon going up along with this wall. And
yeah, he's going to need a little bit more than that to hold this off, I think.
Yeah, absolutely, but it looks like these Zerglings are going to get here just in time for this cannon to finish. So the cannon probably going to get a few kills here, and it looks like it is able to take down a few of those Zerglings, but trying to fire down that Zealot, of course, can take a little bit more of a beating than those Zerglings can, and more Zerglings continuing to stream down here. But at this point, you have managed to get some cannons up to the base of HastaLasagna, so of course he is taking damage on his pylon and soon to be on his Nexus as well, so he could be in a lot of trouble if he does not respond to that. And currently only two Zerglings making it inside this wall, and that Dig is trying to get up. Of course, no more cannons coming in at this point, though, and I don't even see any Zealots coming out for him. Is there anything that you're doing beside the cannons at this point?
I basically can't do anything. I've got all my money invested in that cannon rush. Don't even have a gateway built yet, so all I can do is build cannons. I'm trying to defend my base, you can see right there.
Yeah, absolutely. And it looks like, despite the fact that there's only 4 Zerglings here, they are going to be able to take out a decent amount of units, and HastaLasagna is sending up more Zealots, despite the fact that he is losing his base, and he does not have enough money at this point to rebuild a Nexus. So once he loses this, he could be in some serious trouble. Although going over to the gold base here, it looks like he does have a Nexus going up, although that's only about halfway done right now.
Transferring all his probes over there. He didn't lose many, so he should be in pretty decent shape once he gets that gold expansion up and running.
Yeah, absolutely. Although, of course, you can currently see he is supply blocked because all of his pylons have been taken out. And it looks like Dig continuing to try to crank out Zealots since Jebezzal has not been touched this entire game, continuing to stream Zerglings down here, basically. Wow, and he has a lot of Zerglings standing by this Xel'Naga watchtower. I'm not sure why these aren't attacking yet. but he does have a decent amount of units down there, and Dig trying to get up some cannons on the back of his mineral line to defend his probes. His probes fighting back. They're able to hold off these Zerglings, although they're getting too far away from these cannons now. He needs to back that off just a little bit.
Yeah, I think Jebezzal probably should have taken those speedlings directly into Dig's mineral line after he broke Dig's wall. They stayed up there trying to take out that forge and that gateway a little bit too long, and allowed Dig to get those 2 photon cannons up.
Yeah, absolutely, and now those Zerglings are essentially going to be useless. Although we do see a fast Stargate out for Dig right now, and as far as I'm aware, there is no anti-air on the map at this point aside from the Queen of Jebezzal. Although it does look like he just started his layer upgrade. He does not have any anti-air such as spore colonies or anything, and obviously no Hydras because he does not have the layer yet. So if he's able to get a quick Void Ray out, that could be absolutely devastating to him. And it looks like Jebezzal and HastaLasagna are going to continue to just pound away at this front wall that Dig is trying frantically to hold together because, of course, he does have a lot of tech buildings up here. But it looks like the amount of Zerglings that are streaming in here is just going to be too much. Managing to take down that Zealot before it kills his pylon, powering his gateway, which he does have more. Although it looks like Dig actually went for
a fast
Phoenix instead of a Void Ray.
One Phoenix lifting up a Zergling, not going to be much damage there, Dig.
Not exactly
you
the,
are an
the
A1
best micro.
noob, my friend.
He does manage to hold it up long enough to get another Zealot out, but there are 2 more Zealots attacking this pylon. Once that pylon goes down, all of these buildings are now useless. So unfortunate for him, losing his last pylon there powering those, and of course the last Zealot that was defending that. There are some more gateways going down in his base, but he is still not producing a Void Ray. I'm kind of surprised to see that he has not yet built a Void Ray.
Yeah, if he would have a Void Ray at this point, I think this game would be pretty much GG, because like you said, there's no anti-air on the map, just Zergling and Zealots, basically.
And it looks like Dig's tech tree is going to be pretty much reset. He loses his Forge, loses his first gateway, and loses his Cybernetics Core. So for all intents and purposes, he is starting from square one. Although, fortunately for him, so is his enemy, HastaLasagna, as he was forced to go to the high-yield base over at the top here once 13 was able to basically cannon rush him out of his own base.
Yeah, and if HastaLasagna and his partner Jebezzal play it right, they should have us pretty contained for the majority of this game.
And finally, a Void Ray coming out for Dig, and he is able to hold off the attack from these Zealots and Zerglings.
Losing a lot of probes, though.
Absolutely. His economy is in bad shape now. Although he is still alive and he does have the Void Ray out on the map. So if he can control this Void Ray well, we may see the game turn around, although it is still sitting at his base for some reason. It's not actually doing anything. So not sure exactly what Dig is trying to do here, but he is definitely not keeping up with what's going on. Back at 13's base, 13, it looks like you've got a pretty small tech tree so far, basically gateways and cybernetics cores. So at this point, you are trying to get up another expansion, though. Although it does look like Jebezzal has gotten up his own expansion, and he does now have the Hydra Den. So of course, the window that that Dig had, the window of opportunity to actually do any damage with that Void Ray, has run out.
Yeah, exactly. And it looks like if you look at Jebezzal's base at the high mineral, he's got 2 Robo Base going right now. I'm curious if he's going to go for Immortals or Colossi. Probably Immortals at this point in the game.
Yeah, Immortals are definitely they definitely pack a strong punch against Zealots. We'll have to see. It looks like Dig is going to be moving up here and will be discovering this base. Of course, was unaware of it until this point, but seeing that HastaLasagna was able to actually build more units and continue to stream Zealots at them.
He is producing 2 Immortals out of those Robo Bays right now.
Yeah, absolutely. Not chrono boosting them currently, so... actually, I'm sorry, it looks like he is chrono boosting one of them. But it looks like the Void Ray is coming out for Dig as well. I'm going to try to take down this Nexus.
He might be able to pick that off before those Stalkers can take him out. Oh, here comes the Roaches. Probably should clean up those Zealots.
Yeah, the Stalkers are having to run away rather than focus fire down.
It's going to be close.
Yeah, this is very close. This Void Ray very low on health, although this Nexus is nearly done. Wow, the Stalkers just barely managed to take it out in time. If Dig would have actually done the Gravitron beam on one of those Stalkers, that might have given him just enough time to pick off that Nexus. But unfortunately, he didn't. And he says, "We losery." I'm assuming that means at this point that he is giving up the game and thinks that you guys have lost. Of course, you apparently do not agree with him.
Yeah, Dig is notorious for quitting about 15 minutes too early every game that we play, so I never let him leave whenever he GG's early.
Dig does tend to leave games if his initial strategy does not work. He is definitely a rage quitter.
Exactly, definitely. You look up rage quitter in the dictionary, it's a picture of Dig.
Pretty much. Anyways, going back to the rest of the map here, it looks like The only base that HastaLasagna has up is still going to be this one expansion. Putting up a few cannons to help defend here since his Nexus is very weak now. In 13, it looks like you still have a bunch of cannons around the base that used to be HastaLasagna's.
I probably should have taken that base. I got the two assimilators there already.
Yeah, absolutely. And it looks like you're saying now it's a macro game. So understand